Get your screen. You can sit right there. The gentleman right here. Don't sit on the end right here. Yes. Let the record reflect that we're back in session in cause number 322383. Let the record reflect that the jury panel is back in the courtroom. The state assistant district attorneys are also present, and the defendant and his attorney is also present. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, you'll be in the hands of our court coordinator, Ms. Redmond.
Good afternoon. When I call your name, please have a seat in the jury box.
That's the jury box over here. The bailiff will tell you what it said.
Barry Ford,
Barry Ford,
Jennifer Fertitta, Catherine Littles, Richie Williams, Diane Rushing, Dorena Ferguson, and Lindsay Brake.
Mr. Porter, the lady in the white shirt should be sitting there, and then the lady in the black shirt. Yeah.
You're right.
Well, don't make a difference. Yeah. Okay. At this time, does any state, do you have any objections to the panel?
No objection.
Defense?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, would you please raise your right hand? Do you and each of you do solemnly swear or affirm that in the case of the state of Texas versus Benjamin Steele, you will a true verdict render according to the law and the evidence, so help you God? You do? You may put your hand down. Members of the jury, I will give you some instructions and a general idea of what to expect in this case. Every case is composed of facts and the law as it applies to the particular case. The facts come from the witnesses on the witness stand. The law comes from the statutes, codes, rules, and court decisions interpreting them and how they may apply to this case. You and I have equal authority in this case, but it is divided authority. You are the sole judges of the facts, and I am the sole judge of the law. You are the sole judges of the credibility of the witnesses and the weight to be given their testimony. You can believe all of what a witness says, part of what a witness says, or none of what a witness says. As the trial progresses, the attorneys will probably make objections to questions asked by the other attorney of witnesses or objections to the introduction of documents or objects. This means that in the objecting attorney's opinion, there is a legal reason why the testimony or document or object should not be received by you. Sometimes I will simply sustain or overrule the objection. At other times, it may require a lengthy discussion outside of your presence. If that happens, I will either ask you to step outside for a few minutes or ask the attorneys to come up to the bench so that you can't hear the discussion on the point of law. The reason for this, as I told you earlier, you are the sole judges of the facts you receive, and I'm the sole judge of the law. I can't be with you in the jury room when you deliberate the facts. Therefore, you can't be present or within hearing when I deliberate questions of law. The reason why I will sometimes ask you to step outside is because it is simply the most efficient way to do it. Otherwise, if we were to leave the courtroom, the court reporter would have to gather her equipment and take with her, and the attorneys would have to gather their files, etc. The rulings I do make on questions of law in your presence are not evidence and are to be disregarded. After all the evidence is in, and both the state and the defendant has rested their cases, the court will prepare and submit to you a written charge instructing you on the law in this case. You will then hear oral arguments from the attorneys. The attorneys have the right to make a summation of the evidence and to make reasonable deductions from the evidence. Since the state has the burden of proof, it has the right to open and close the summation or argument. Until you retire to deliberate, do not discuss this case amongst yourselves, and under no circumstances should you permit anyone to discuss the case with you. Do not attempt to learn from any source outside of the courtroom anything about the facts of the case, nor attempt any independent investigation on your own. Don't visit the scene involved in the facts of this case. Don't read any reports in the newspapers or watch TV reports about the case. Do not make up your mind until all the evidence is in and you have been instructed on the law. Don't take notes during the process or progress of the trial. Don't visit other courts during a break if a trial or other proceeding is in progress. At the first break, before you leave, the bailiff will hand you an identification tag identifying you as a juror. Please pin it on and wear it at all times. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the panel who was not selected for this case, I'd like to thank you for your time and attention that you spent here today. And on behalf of the citizens of Jefferson County, and behalf of the staff here in County Court at Law Number 2, we like to thank you for coming out under these circumstances. We all know that we're in a pandemic, COVID-19. However, because of people like you, we are able to do our job and we are able to serve the citizens of Jefferson County by moving cases in this court. So if you need an excuse, you can talk to the bailiff. The bailiff could direct you to the district clerk's office so that you can get whatever paperwork that you need. Again, my name is Judge Terrence L. Holmes. I'm the presiding judge here in this court. And on behalf of the staff here at County Court at Law Number 2, the District Attorney's Office, and on behalf of the defense, we like to thank you for being here this afternoon. This will conclude your jury service, and now you are in the hands of the bailiff. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we have tags that the bailiff is going to hand to each one of you. Please keep the tags with you at all times. We'll ask that you wear the tag so when you come to court, other people in the courthouse will know that you are a juror in a case. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it is almost 5 o'clock. We're going to be in recess until 11 o'clock tomorrow. At that time, then we will start the rest of the trial. So at this time, you'll be excused until 11 o'clock on tomorrow. And then when you come back at 11, please meet in the hallway and you will see the bailiff, and the bailiff will tell you what to do. We may, I don't know whether or not we'll be running a little late. We may not be, but if we are, if you're still out in the hallway, it's because we're handling business here in the courtroom. We have a docket that will start at 9 o'clock in the morning, and hopefully we'll have that docket completed by 11 o'clock or 11 a.m. So we'll see each and every one of you on tomorrow at 11 a.m. And we ask that each and every one of you have a blessed day.